Hello, client. It is so good to see you again. Today we're going to discuss some of the concerns you have within your new questions. So we're going to go over composer and publisher's rights, as well as the rights discerned between the local band, BNS, and their recording label. Currently, there's some tension between the band and the recording label because the manager's saying there's unpaid publishing and performance royalties. However, I think there's some confusion there. The encouraging news is that the song has gained more traction and popularity, so the band will be going on tour soon in Europe and the US. Additionally, it's gained traction on Pandora, SiriusXM, and NPR Online, which by popularity has been remixed and re-recorded with Shakira in Spanish and English. All this to be said, with more traction includes more diligence to it. So, I agree with you that there is some concern about the manager stating there's unpaid publishing royalties and performance royalties, because essentially the publisher earns a share of performance royalties. The publisher's royalties include performance royalties, mechanical royalties, and so forth. So I would suggest the band re-talk to their manager about the difference between publishing and performance royalties. Secondly, when it comes to the tour, both the composer, you, and the band can profit from it, but there has to be an agreement between the two. I believe the band can profit from ticket sales, merchandise, and additional promotional revenue, whereas you, the client, can earn compositional royalties in the form of performance royalties through a blanket license that PROs have with venues. Additionally, the tour manager has to create a track and set in order for him to properly submit the information to a PRO. Now, if they decide to use the re-recorded version that was translated and has Shakira during the tour, then the client could also gain some more profit from this if they created an agreement with the band where the client earns a percentage of the royalties made from that translated version. More than likely, the translator was actually a work for hire from the label itself, and then BNS and the label have the rights to it. Therefore, if they didn't ask you about the translated version beforehand, then you can actually create a lawsuit because you have unpaid damages to that song. For example, Carlos Jobim, who created The Girl from Ipanema, had his song translated, but the actual Universal Music Publishing Group did not ask him for this translation to occur first. So he filed a lawsuit stating they wanted copyrights returned back to them due to unspecified damages and receiving their full allocated share of song royalties. Which is why I believe Client A should create an agreement with BNS and the recording label to get a portion of the publishing royalties for that translated song, as well as the compositional royalties, since the translator could have acquired publishing royalties for the translated song if the client authorized the translation. If it wasn't authorized, then those rights essentially are unpaid to you. And lastly, the band is asking where the digital performance royalties come from when it comes to Pandora, SiriusXM, and NPR Online. SoundExchange, that's the biggest thing for them because they collect for master performance royalties, including NPR Online, Pandora, and SiriusXM. So I tell them to go to SoundExchange. When it comes to you, the client, you would earn songwriting performance royalties from these digital streamings. And I would say go to the PRO for that. And of course, we can't forget about Shakira, who would earn featured artist royalties, but that would also come from her own third-party agreements. But in total, that was about it, I believe. That was a lot of things to cover in a small amount of time. So hopefully there was some answers that have been resolved. And if there's any more, you may contact me. Thank you so much.